Hi, we are going to read another passage together today and then look at the questions. The passage that we are going to be reading together today is called The New Clubhouse. So you guys can go ahead and follow along with me while I read if you have not already read this passage by yourself yet. Max's clubhouse was falling apart. He told his mom that he wanted to build a new one. First, you need a plan, said Max's mom. Let's figure out what the new clubhouse should look like. They worked together. Max and his mom made a small house out of play clay. Max showed his mom what he wanted. He wanted a door on the house. He wanted two windows on the house. He wanted to paint the house red. Then his mom told him what she wanted. I want the house to be safe, said Max's mom. I will help you build it. So, we are going to go ahead and look at the questions now that go along with this passage. All right, number one, what problem does Max have in this story? So, what was the problem that Max faced? Was it his mother wants him to be safe? Was that the problem? Was he nervous about the first day of school? Or was Max's problem that his clubhouse was falling apart? So let's go back and try to find our answer in the passage. So this very first line right here says Max's clubhouse was falling apart. So that is the problem in this story. So if we go back to our questions, the answer is C. His clubhouse is falling apart. How does Max solve his problem? A, he researched his clubhouse plans on the internet. B, he makes plans to build a new clubhouse with his mom. Or C, he asked his friends what they would do. Well, we know from reading this passage, he never got on the internet. And the passage never said that he asked his friends, but let's go back and look. Right here it says, first, you need a plan, said Max's mom. Let's figure out what the new clubhouse should look like. They worked together. So, how did Max decide what his new clubhouse should look like? Who was the one that sat down and helped him? Good, it was his mom. So, that answer would be B. He makes plans to build a new clubhouse with his mom. Number 3, Max and his mom build a model of his new clubhouse out of play clay. Max showed his mom what he wanted for the new clubhouse. Based on this information, how does the small clubhouse model made of play clay help Max and his mom? So they made a small model of what the big clubhouse was going to look like out of clay, so kind of like out of Play-Doh. And how does that help Max and his mom? Does it help them by A, Max and his mom can play in the play clay model to see if it'll be fun? So can they actually get inside and play in there? Probably not unless it was a huge model. B, the model helps Max and his mom see what the clubhouse will look like. Or C, the model helps Max and his mom build the new clubhouse out of play clay. That answer is B. It's so that they can see what it'll look like because they can't get inside it and play. It's way too small. And the model helps Max and his mom build the new clubhouse out of play. Well, they're not building the new clubhouse out of play. Remember, they were just building a model so that they could both see what it looked like. Number 4, what is the new clubhouse mostly about? So, what is the main idea of this passage that we read, the new clubhouse? Is the main idea A, Max builds models with his mom out of play clay? B, Max plays so much in his clubhouse that it starts to fall apart? Or C, Max makes plans to build a new clubhouse with his mom? So, what do you think the whole article is mainly about? So, let's go back in the passage and look. Right here, if you'll look at this line with me, it says Max and his mom made a small house out of play clay. So they did make something out of play clay, but is that what this entire article is about? And then Max's clubhouse was falling apart, but is that what the entire clubhouse or what the entire passage is about? I'm sorry. Or is it more about how they were going to solve their problem and make a new clubhouse? Good. It was more about them going to make a new clubhouse together. So that answer would be C. Max plans to build a new clubhouse with his mom. Number 5, this is going to be a written answer for you. What does Max's mom want his new clubhouse to be? So that answer is going to be right in the passage. And it's this very last line down here. I want the house to be safe, said Max's mom. So what does she want the clubhouse to be? She wants it to be safe. That is what she is the most concerned about. And I'll let you write that. All right. And then your last question, what did you learn from the new clubhouse? So I'm going to let you write one thing that you learned after reading this passage. And you could talk about maybe you learned that you could make a model out of something bigger, out of play clay. Maybe you learned that it's better to have a plan before you just go out and start doing something. If Max and his mom hadn't had a plan, they may not know what they want their new clubhouse to look like when they build it. Down at the very bottom, you can draw the play clay model that Max and his mom build for the new clubhouse. So, what would maybe like a clubhouse made out of Play Doh look like? I hope that you all had a good time reading this passage together with me. I know that I did, and I will see you back on here tomorrow.